The piece in the Camden collection by Patrick is called Marcus with Pink, and it's a drawing of a small boy sat in front of a flower, and he's inspecting the flower. Draftsmanship wise, it's quite wonderful. It's got a nice line to it. The colours are quite muted, a little bit tame, and in a way that was a problem with Procktor's work towards the end of his career, that he hadn't quite moved with the times in the same way that Hockney had. His wife said that Patrick never got over the success of Hockney. Patrick unfortunately died of alcoholism later on in his life. He had one personal tragedy after another. The final nail in the coffin for him was his house and studio containing a lot of his artwork in Camden, burnt to the ground, losing all of his archive and all of his artwork. The Camden collection is a real snapshot of the London art scene of that period. So there's artists such as Keith Vaughan that taught Patrick Procktor at Slade School. Examples of his work are in the collection. And these crossovers that we see between artwork and artists really reveal the milieu that these artists were working in, and often the friendships that they had with each other. David Hockney and Patrick Procktor met and became friends whilst they were both at art school. This was in the 1950s. Both of them together became the dandies of the art world. David Hockney, of course, had his famous glasses, mop of blonde hair and suits. Patrick Procktor was 6'6", would wear a pair of slippers, a fez, and paint his nails green. It was that, aligned with his fantastic draftsmanship, that meant he became quite successful quite quickly, and for a time was superseding David Hockney. He was going to be the pop star of the 1960s. Now we know how that worked out. Very few people have heard of Patrick Procktor, whereas David Hockney is probably one of the most famous British artists that we have. The Hockney piece that we have in the exhibition is organised by the Culture Carriers, and the Culture Carriers arose during the postal strike of 1971. The artwork itself is an envelope, and the envelope has been franked, so you can see this wavy line here, and stamped with the Culture Carriers, the date of the 23rd of Feb 1971. It's one of 3 David Hockneys that are in the Camden collection. And because of the relation to the postal strike and the union and the issues that were happening then, it's potentially one of the more interesting David Hockneys that we have in the collection. View your own art collection at camden.gov.uk/art collection.